All right, let's bring in Craig Button today. The Edmonton Oilers are down 2-1. And Craig, we've been talking about it. We've said it ourselves a little bit this morning. A loss is just one loss, but does it feel like more than that to you this morning?
No, it doesn't. When you watch how the Oilers played, they were awful.
Yeah.
There was not one player that was you could put a check mark and say it was good in the game last night. They were awful right from the get-go. At even strength, they were a no-show. And when you get a game like that, and we know that momentum doesn't go from game to game, you lose like that, and you're way better than that. So you just pick up the pieces and go, okay, we showed that we know we're better than that. Now we got to go out and show we're better than that. And, as it goes for the late game shenanigans, you're going to be tough when it doesn't matter. You're going to cross-check guys from behind when it doesn't. That's not fighting back. That's just frustration. And I get emotions run high. And when you get your asses kicked like the Edmonton Oilers got their asses kicked last night, you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna take those frustration types of things. That's not taking a pound of flesh. That's just frustration showing. And when you get beat like that, that's what ends up happening. It doesn't have any effect going forward, and with respect to the shenanigans at the end of the game. And I don't think the beatdown has anything going forward. The Oilers know that if they're going to play like that again, it'll be 3-1 coming back to Edmonton for Game 5, and I don't expect them to come anywhere close to playing like that again.
Craig, do you think Oilers fans should be concerned? And I agree with everything you said about the shenanigans and the. I like when we're using the term shenanigans a lot. That's kind of a fun word in general to say.
It's easy.
I agree with you. The shenanigans in the third period. But what about the factor of Florida knows they have you rattled? Does that factor into it at all? And Florida's just watching you sort of implode on yourselves. What does that do for the Panthers' mindset moving forward?
Again, it's one game, and the Panthers know that they're going to have to be really sharp at the outset of Game 4, and the Oilers know they're going to have to be really sharp at the outset of Game 4. So, the Oilers were rattled in game 3, and that showed up in the frustration. And there's nothing wrong with being rattled. There's nothing wrong with being frustrated. It was that type of game for the Edmonton Oilers. They shouldn't make any apologies for showing their frustration. They shouldn't make any apologies for acting out. But you reset now and you get ready for Game 4. And you think about Game 4 last year when the Oilers won 8-1.
Yeah.
And, that put the Panthers still up 3-1. But the Oilers knew that they had to go back down and win a game in Florida. And now the Oilers have to go win another Game 4 in Florida and try to find a way to be way better. And they are way better. How many, the only time I've seen a game like that from the Oilers this year was Game 2 versus the LA Kings. That was the only game this year in the playoffs that I've seen where the Oilers were just so below par. And we know what happened after Game 2 versus the LA Kings.
Craig, nobody talks about officiating when you win, but when you lose, especially by the score of 6-1, we were at the bar last night, Boston Pizza, and a lot of people complaining about how that game was managed, I guess. Just your thoughts on that entire scenario from the Stripes last night.
I'll be straightforward with you. If you're wearing orange and blue and you got an Oilers crest on, you're looking at the game through your own striped lens. And if you're a Panthers fan wearing a Panthers jersey, you're looking at it through that stripe. That's the way it is. We can all debate, and we should debate that should there have been a too many men on the ice penalty in Game 2 on that exchange. I don't think there's anything untoward about saying, hey, listen, that's a call that should have been made. Let's be clear here. That should have been made. Other than that, I don't see any other thing. At the end of the game last night, they were just getting players out of there because Wes McCauley and Francis Sharon, they knew what was going on. And they just said, you're out of here, you're out of here, you're out of here, you're out of here. Let's just get everybody out of here. Yeah. And that is good game management. I look at the game last night. I don't see any penalties. I know Chris Knobloch talked about it. You got 7 guys on the ice. You got a cross-checking penalty by Kane in front of the net, obvious. You got a high stick, obvious. You got Arvidsson goaltender interference, obvious. What are you complaining about? I mean, and let's not forget the Panthers had 3 penalties in the first period too.
Yeah.
I mean, they were committed penalties. So again, I get it. You're sitting there, you're rooting for your team, and you go, the officials are against us. That's just that's just part and parcel of being a fan. And like I said, I think the games have been officiated really, really well. I think that outside of that, too many men on the ice missed call in game 2. I don't have any issues with the officials.
Craig Button with us on the show this morning. We've had some people texting in today asking about maybe a Calvin Pickard game in game 4. My response has been, I mean, Stuart Skinner has the best game 4 numbers of any goalie ever.
You didn't want to read them.
But I also don't think Knobloch would do that. So I don't know if it's a great talking point anyway. But your thoughts on Skinner last night and how you would handle the goaltending here moving forward?
Well, number one, let me just start with the second question. Like Skinner started game 4, period, full stop. Let's stop with that right now. I think Chris Knobloch should have stopped it last night, personally. I think he should have put a stake in the ground because it didn't matter who was in the net last night. Everybody in front of him was terrible. So it would be one thing if your team played so great and your goaltender wasn't very good and you lost the game. Okay, maybe that's reason for contemplation. But like I said, there was not one player wearing an Oilers uniform in game 3 that was worthy of a passing grade. Now, that being said, I didn't think Stuart Skinner was very good in game 3. The first goal, he loses his feet. He's all over the place. And again, the short side high blocker on 2 goals 2 and 3. You got to be better than that. And I know they're good shots. And when you hang a breaking ball over home plate, it goes for 450 feet. Yeah, the hitter nailed it. And the pitcher made a mistake. Skinner made 2 mistakes there. You can't make those mistakes in those spots there, and he did. The first one was bad goaltending. The second and third ones, I think you got to be better. But everybody in front of him was awful.
Craig, one change that was bandied about last night into this morning is Stetcher in for Klingberg. Do you make that move? Do you see that happening? Or is there anything else that you would tinker with when it comes to the lineup or see Chris Knobloch tinkering with heading into game 4?
There was no worse player in the game last night than John Klingberg. There was no, I mean, he was god-awful. I mean, so yes, I am seriously considering putting Troy Stetcher in there because I'm not saying that you do it, but if it was me, yeah, I would do it. They're targeting John Klingberg. He is getting pounded. He is turning the puck over. He's not moving the puck. He is in all kinds of trouble. I think last night they tried to give him a little bit of support. It didn't help Darnell Nurse. And to me, he's out of the lineup and Troy Stetcher's in.
Craig Button with us on the show this morning. How much money do you think Sam Bennett has made himself with these playoffs?
Lots. Lots. I mean,
I think like multi-million-dollars more per year.
Oh yeah,
than before going in. Like that's ridiculous.
He's not going to make more than Sam Bennett, and will he be close? Probably. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it's $7.5 million times 8. Something like that. But I think everybody talks about players you need to win in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Well, you're not going to pay them. Claude Lemieux was a great example of a Sam Bennett type player. Claude Lemieux didn't have to raise his game in the playoffs. He was playing playoff hockey all the way through the season. Sam Bennett is the same way. If you want those guys, you better pay them. That's as simple as I can put it. You don't want Sam Bennett on your team, then you're not interested in winning.
He's been outstanding for them in this series and the whole playoffs.
Lights out that goal.
Every single aspect of it. He's just been.
I mean, he blew up Podkolzin on that breakaway goal. I mean, and I think I said it last night on SC. The Oilers better start figuring out a way to dump the puck in. They keep wanting to make plays at the blue line, and you got to make the defense turn and go back for pucks and make them work from below their goal line to create offense. Right now, they're just stepping up. I mean, when did you see McDavid get hit like that? And only McDavid's greatness avoided a bigger collision there.
Yeah.
And they're right up on him, and they're going to have to play a game. They're going to have to play a game and just put it behind the defense, a little bit of chip and chase, and go after it. Because right now, the Panthers from their own blue line up are right up in the play. The Oilers got to counteract that, and carrying the puck and trying to make plays at the blue line ain't going to get it done.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go before we wrap here, Craig. McDavid post-game last night said, the Oilers have not played their best hockey yet in this series, but it's coming. You just kind of laid it out. You think they got to get the puck in deeper earlier when they have it. Any other keys to evening the series at 2 before coming home, in your opinion?
Yeah, it was interesting that McDavid comment. And he said we haven't played our best hockey. I thought the first 2 games were good.
Both
hard
teams.
hockey
I thought
games.
both teams were awesome in the first 2 games. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really surprised when he said it, and it seemed like a comment of bravado. All our best is coming, and well, it needs to. Like you better be really good in Game 4 because you need that game, no question about it. I think that the number one thing is that they have to make those defensemen turn and go. When the defense are always up on the play, now keep in mind from their defensive blue line all the way to the hash marks, those defensemen are pushing forward, pushing forward, pushing forward. You got to take their legs away from them. How do you do that? Put the puck behind them. Just be committed to the long game. Puck behind them. Make them turn. Make them continuously turn to go back for pucks. Don't let them play on their toes. I think that's the number one thing they have to do. The 1986 playoffs, the Edmonton Oilers lost to Calgary. And Glenn Sather said, we were stubborn, that we wouldn't dump the puck in. They kept standing us up and beating it, and they took advantage of our blue. Now, we know it was a lucky goal that went in Game 7 off of Steve Smith's leg, but that was Glenn Sather's assessment of the series. He says, it shouldn't have been like that. And we let it get to that point, and now we lost on an unlucky bounce. That, to me, is the number one thing the Oilers have to do. And, I mean, we can talk about the other things, be ready to play, everything like that. We know that all goes. But I think that's the number one thing. If they don't do that, they're going to be in trouble. And I think that's where they have to focus their energies and efforts.
Craig, as always, man, really appreciate it. Thanks for the time. We'll chat next week. Oh,
you got to give me 1 minute here, though.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Okay.
My grandfather was a bootlegger on the Thousand Islands.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Have
you read the book?
I have not read the book. I have not read the book. So growing up, before my father passed away, my grandfather was just a salesman. And then after my father had passed away, they found out all the stuff about him, that he was a bootlegger on the Thousand Islands.
Really?
Yep.
A successful bootlegger, obviously. I mean, if he kept it under wraps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So you got a little bootlegging in your blood then, bud.
I would think so. It's like being a pirate, right? Like you might not, but you have it in you. So who knows? Maybe I'll take to bootlegging.
Maybe let me know if you want to get into the rum running business, and we can make a handoff in Red Deer once a month. Hey,
we can do that, right? Sylvan Lake. We'll each get a boat in Sylvan Lake, and we'll cross
paths and just hand over crates of Captain Morgan.
Wearing an eye patch.
What are you guys doing? We're running rum. Calm down. Don't tell anybody. Yeah. Oh, that's too good, man. Well, thank you for that update before we let you go. That's terrific, Craig.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
Okay, have a great day.
There you go. What are the odds of that?